Welcome to this explainer on drama. Today, we're going to unpack exactly how the words on a page transform into the action on a stage. You know, if you've ever read a play and then watched it performed live, you've probably felt that special kind of magic that happens in the transition. Well, today we're breaking down exactly how that magic works.
All right, let's take a quick look at our agenda for today. We'll start with the blueprint of drama, move into a scene study to uncover motives, look at script versus stage interpretation, do a couple of interactive pause checks, and wrap up with a recap and a transfer task.
Kicking things off with Section 1, the blueprint of drama. We're starting our journey right at the foundation, looking at the core architecture that builds every great play.
So what is drama, really? Basically, it's a narrative brought to life through performance by actors, but it's not just people sitting in a room talking. It's driven by dialogue, action, and most importantly, conflict. You have these opposing forces clashing to create meaning. Will the conflict be resolved? Who's going to win? Those are the questions that keep us literally glued to our seats.
Now, it's super interesting to see how all these structural elements work together as a team. Every play relies on these pieces. You've got your acts and scenes, which basically show how the plot unfolds, like chapters in a book. You have the setting, which tells us exactly where and when the story is happening. Then you have stage directions controlling the action, mood, and movement, dialogue, which is what the characters actually say, and of course that conflict we just talked about, which can be an internal struggle or a totally external one.
And all of these elements beautifully move through a standard plot sequence. Usually start with the exposition, then rising action, hitting the climax, followed by the falling action, and finally landing at the resolution. It is the classic blueprint for storytelling.
Moving right along to Section 2, Scene Study, Uncovering Motives. Let's do a close reading and see how this all builds into actual character motivation.
Let's take a look at this created scene inspired by Oscar Wilde's classic comedy, The Importance of Being Earnest. We've got two characters here, Jack and Gwendolyn. Jack says, "I am earnest," and Gwendolyn replies that her ideal has always been to love someone with that exact name. Now, if we just listen to what Jack is saying, he sounds pretty straightforward, right?
But let's look a little closer, because we need to clear up a major misconception here. Dialogue alone does not reveal every motive. Sure, the dialogue shows Jack confidently stating his name, but look at the right side. The stage directions are doing the heavy lifting to show us he is completely lying. He's fidgeting nervously with his watch, he's avoiding eye contact. The author put those physical actions in parentheses for a very specific reason.
So, as a reader or an audience member, you kind of have to act like a detective. To reveal a character's true motives, you have to piece together what the character says, the dialogue, with what the character does, the stage directions. You also need to look at how other characters react and the actual circumstances of the setting. It's the combination of all these clues that gives you the real truth.
All right, Section 3, Script versus Stage Interpretation. Let's explore the hard line between what the author wrote and what actually happens when it hits the stage.
It's absolutely vital to distinguish the script from the final performance. Reading the text is a totally different experience from viewing a live audio or video version. The page has the author's script, the words, basic settings, and stage directions. But the stage? That's the director's interpretation. That involves lighting, sound, camera angles, and the actor's tone, things that aren't always explicitly written down.
Just check out this table. Look at setting, for example. The script might just state a dark room, but a director interprets that with blue lighting and eerie shadows. Or delivery. The script just says hello, but the actor delivers it with heavy sarcasm. Even action. The script might say he walks out, but on stage, the actor is stomping aggressively. These performance choices can completely shift the mood of the original text.
So when you're analyzing a play and watching an adaptation, you always want to evaluate it. Ask yourself, does the production stay faithful to the script or does it depart from the original text? Why did the director make these creative choices? And how does the actor's delivery actually change the meaning? These are crucial questions to keep in mind.
Which brings us to Section 4, Interactive Pause Checks. Time to pause and test your understanding of how these dramatic elements work together.
Here's your first pause check. Read this scenario. If a character says, "I am perfectly fine," but the stage directions say, slamming the door, wiping away tears, what is their true motivation? Go ahead and pause this explainer right now, think about that page versus stage dynamic, and answer the question out loud.
And we're back. The answer is that the character is deeply upset. The stage directions reveal their true feelings, even when the dialogue is trying to hide them. Actions really do speak louder than words.
proving again that you cannot rely on just dialogue alone to get the whole picture.
Let's try one more. Pause check 2. If a director decides to use bright red lighting during a quiet conversation, is that an element of the script or a stage interpretation? Pause again, think about the author's words versus the production team's choices, and lock in your answer.
All right, let's see how you did. It's a stage interpretation. The director is making a very specific performance choice to add tension or mood that definitely wasn't strictly in the dialogue.
Awesome job. Now for Section 5, Recap and Transfer Task. Let's bring all these concepts together.
Let's recap what we've learned in 3 simple sentences. First, drama combines structural elements like acts, scenes, setting, and dialogue to explore conflicts and themes. Second, a character's true motivation is uncovered by analyzing both their spoken dialogue and their physical stage directions. And third, every performance is an interpretation, where directors and actors make choices that can faithfully adapt or dramatically change the original text.
Now it's your turn for a transfer task. I want you to select a scene from your authorized script, identify one line of dialogue and its stage direction, and explain how they work together to reveal the character's true motivation. Just take exactly what we modeled today and apply it independently to what you're reading. As you work on that, I'll leave you with this final thought. Do others see us more clearly than we see ourselves on stage? Keep that provocative question in the back of your mind as you continue exploring the incredible world of drama. Have fun with it, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.